welcome back. So basically, this is my process. I tend to just sketch out an idea that I have, and then I use that as a guide. This was the first time I painted this. This is Queensboro Bridge, and I think I did a fairly good job. I liked the way it developed, but I want to redo that. Why? I just realized I ran out of paper, so whenever I run out of paper, I use the backs of paintings that I have done already, and I repaint them with a new perspective, but with that common theme that was on the other side. And I'm going to use a tracing paper here to get an idea of where I want to lay down paints. But I plan to paint it totally different than I did before. And I want to get my ginger tea. It's always so good to drink ginger tea before you start painting. So here's my beautiful world that I'm going to create right here. And I get so happy when I get to paint. Just putting down some tape in the corners. If it was if it was the front side of the paper, I usually lay down long strips and protect the corners more. The vision is that one day, once these paintings are done, they get framed with a glass on both sides. So you get one painting that has two paintings. Just flip it either side. If that made any sense. It made sense to me. And we're going to get some fresh water. So that's my fresh water. This is the idea that I have, and I can see that. I kind of don't want to lay down any lines. I want to just go with it, see what happens. Maybe I can just lay down 3 lines. Maybe this line, and maybe this line, and this line. So let me see if that gives me a good guide. Yep, that gives me a good guide. Plus I have it here. And I felt that came on too strong, so I'm going to erase it a little. So my theme is New York City. So, Rumi said, the quieter I become, the more I can hear. Let's get right into this. with the paper, and see this over here. I'm gonna start with my yellow, you know, the way I like to do my thing. And let's see how that goes. Mm-hmm. See if that works. I want to soften some of those long edges there. I want them to bleed in more. So I just get a wet brush. I'm using a round brush here that happened to be at my disposal. So I'll bring this out a little, soften these edges a little, and I can get my do that with my flat brush too. There we go. Yeah, remember we have something over here that we want to develop. There's gonna be a lamp here. And I'm gonna keep that. Oh man, I didn't work with that. Put a little over here. Yeah, under here. Okay. So, in watercolors, you tend to work from lights to dark, unlike other mediums that you go from dark to light. I like that. That's another thing I like about watercolors. You got to rethink everything. So I'm thinking about the Queensboro Bridge, and I think I'm done with my highlights there. All right, cleaning those brushes. I'll be right back with some fresh water. There exists a silence that can hear it all. Let's go right in here. That was So I see the way this is developing, and I think I'm missing an opportunity if I don't capitalize on it soon. Okay. So I just envision on the other side of the bridge, Queensboro Bridge, and I've been there many times. And so I think I'm looking underneath the bridge. The light is hitting different things. You got the colorful buildings, the glass buildings. You got shadows because there's so much on top of each other, as you can tell. Not my favorite place in the world. But that's why I paint it. So I can change my perspective of it. Because nothing should dictate how you feel. And I get annoyed sometimes dealing with New York and everything New York is. But why are you getting annoyed with what is? Not going to change. Learn to accept it. The quicker you accept it and see some beauty in it, the better it's going to be for you and everyone else. It is what it is. Doesn't mean you're complacent or you have apathy. It just means that you recognize Scorpion will be a scorpion, and you can behave accordingly and live with Scorpion unity. I like the way that's developing. Soften some of these edges and create some shadows. You know, it's really getting familiar with your brushes, because the more you understand what your brushes do, the more you're like, man, it just paints itself. It really does paint itself. Keep with your theme. Like I said many times, these paintings that I'm doing in the back of these other paintings are a little more spontaneous, less structured, less more in the moment. Whenever I do the front side, I tend to be a little more serious, and I sketched it out, and I lay my lines, and I do some sketches. I really give a lot more time to the front, and then I notice when I compare the two, I tend to like these more, where I'm just allowing things to be. thing about Queensboro Bridge, has some nice ironwork on the top. So I'm just trying to suggest that if you're familiar with the Queensboro Bridge, you know it's a beautiful, beautiful bridge. This is coming out over here, so I think I have to go right over here. Yes. Create that a little more. There you go. Give a little more eye candy to the bottom. And we want to maybe bring that down a little. Bring this over. Let's drop some of this in there. You know, and I don't have to. You know, Queensboro Bridge has that trolley to Roosevelt Island. I don't know if I want to put that in there. So I think it might be a little too intrusive if I throw that in there now, because I really like the way this is developing. I like this, the way it leads the eye. And you come up and down now. So if I focus on the foreground over here, originally I was going to put a lamp and lead the eye. So I want you to focus here, over here. So maybe I'm getting paralysis by analysis. You know what I'm saying? Paralysis by analysis. Too many options. I'll put one lamp here. Okay. I've rushed it, but it's fine. Let's put another lamp over here. And I'm not crazy the way that came out, but I might like it later. Let's go over here. Finish this lamp. Let's make it. Yeah. Make it seem like yellow. Going down. Let's just suggest things over here. You can say whatever you want, what it looks like. Oh, it looks like people. Looks like trees. I don't tend to paint people, but I guess I am suggesting that here because my philosophy of the absence of people is the absence of suffering. But since it is New York City, I will make my attempt to add the suffering. And I like the way that developed. And I think that's it. Yep.